Hi, my name is Dr. Emily Johnson, and I'm going to be your professor for U.S. Histories of Sexuality. In this class, we're going to focus on how social and cultural ideas about sexuality and sexual identity have changed over time. Today, when we think about sexual identity, I think a lot of us think about the LGBTQ plus community, and we are going to learn a lot about that community and its predecessors in our class. We are also going to learn about other aspects of US sexual histories, including things like sex work, sexual norms, and the ways in which ideas about sexuality have changed our ideas and shaped our ideas about race and belonging. So even though we aren't meeting in person this semester, I am really excited to get to know you in our online environment. We are going to be interacting as a class through our perusal discussion boards, where you will do the readings and comment and ask questions on them directly through perusal. You and I will also have one-on-one interactions through your weekly responses and my comments on them. So it is important that you are looking at those comments on Canvas, and if you don't know how to access them, let me know. I also want to emphasize to you that I am here for you. I know that online classes can feel alienating and anonymous, and I just want to assure you that I am a real person behind the screen who really cares about your success and learning in this class. If you need anything at all, if you have a question, if you want to know more about something, if you just want to talk more about class stuff, I am here for you. You can always email me, and I'm happy to set up Zoom meetings or whatever else works best for you. I promise I will always be happy to hear from you. I love talking about this stuff, and I really love interacting with students. I'm really missing it in this online year, so please get in touch if you need anything at all. I'm actually really counting on you to ask questions. 400 level history class is always a bit of a weird endeavor because it's an upper level class, but there are no real clear prerequisites. And so I know that you are all coming into this class with some background knowledge, but many of you have different background knowledge from each other. And so I guarantee that at some point in the semester, even though I try to give you the background you need for each reading, even though I try to make sure the readings are accessible, I guarantee that at some point during the semester, you are going to come across a word or a concept that you've never seen before and that you can't really get a good grasp on through just a quick Google. One of the things that I love about perusal is that because you're commenting directly on the readings, you can just highlight that word or that concept or that paragraph and say, I don't understand this. What is going on here? And your classmates can answer it. I'm always happy to answer it. I guarantee too that if you're asking, you're probably not the only one who's confused. And these questions often spark some of the best conversations on the discussion board. So please feel free to ask anything that you want. I do really want to encourage you to take full advantage of perusal. For those of you who haven't used it before, like I said, we are going to access our readings there, and you can just comment, ask questions, highlight anything in the text, and then you can reply to your classmates, you can answer their questions, you can add to their ideas, and it really can be a great tool for authentic discussion, especially since we're not meeting in class. Don't worry about having like the coolest, smartest answer. Instead, think about this as a place to have conversations and to build an intellectual community together. And if you're having any trouble figuring out the app, just let me know. I am happy to help. There are also instructions and an FAQ in the Getting Started module at the top of our Canvas page. All right, so this week we are going to begin our class by exploring the idea of sexual identity. It's something that seems pretty natural to us, the idea that humans can be labeled and categorized according to their sexual preferences. But as we're going to read, that is actually a relatively new idea. It's only in the 1890s that words like homosexual and heterosexual enter the English language. And so you're going to read a bit about that history. And as you're reading, I want you to think about what does this mean for studying the history of sexuality in earlier eras where our main way of thinking about sexuality as sexual identity just didn't exist? It was totally foreign to people at that time. Do we take our modern conceptions to the study of those eras? Or do we have to understand the past completely on its own terms? Or is there some kind of middle ground? That is what we are going to focus on talking about, as well as whatever questions and comments you bring up. So without further ado, welcome again to History 429 or History 522, depending on how you're taking it. Either way, I am glad you're here.